So amazingly, it's not that we're learning the values of heaven, because we can't conceive of the situation that heaven is. It's dimensions that, like there's no uncertainty and there's no scarcity. That radically changes what the rules need to be and should be to safeguard what it is that you value in heaven, which we see as this, the nearest we can get to it is this understanding of this amazingly cooperative love and good intention. So when in the story Jesus says, keep the commandments, keep the principles, what we're learning here is actually to keep the principles, but not any specific principles that are going to be necessarily valid in heaven, but whatever the valid principles are, the sheer importance of keeping them is going to be bedrock in our being by the time we graduate from this dimension, this universe. And that's what the child finds, you see. In class or at home with mum and dad, there are rules. And you learn to keep them, whatever the family or the school is imposing upon you. And if you keep the rules, you get the benefits of the family or the school. If you don't keep the rules, well, the family have to act accordingly, contain you in some way. And the school too. It may say, look, we're going to have to take him out of that class. He's just a menace. What do? We better put him in a special behaviour group. It's not that we want to punish him, perhaps. I don't mean it's necessarily that sort of regime. But if we leave him in the class, he's going to disrupt and cause havoc all the time. He needs special environment, which is not necessarily, of course, what he wants. He wants the freedom of the environment he's in at the minute and to do exactly what he likes. But obviously we can't live with that. We've got to do something about him. Do you see? We're very basically learning that, so that when we go to heaven, we have a spontaneity, an eternal spontaneity, inclination, if you like, to abide by whatever the values are. And I'm not even clear that we can call them values, because when I say values, we think of them in terms of this universe, of course. And our comprehension of this school, this universe, may not be adequate to grasp what's being achieved here for our being eternally in heaven. But it will be by the time that the education's finished. What is important is, while we're here, as the child, is to trust mum and dad. Now we may, as another parent, living next door, so to speak, think that they're not too good next door. I wouldn't really like to be their child. He's not going to be brought up in the right way. He's going to be brought up in a sense, in their way. And that's, if you like, a bit heathen, or a bit uncivilized, or a bit not politically correct, if you're a great abider by political correctness. Do you see? But from the child's point of view, you would still say, I think, you need to do what Mum and Dad say, love, because they are your parents. And when you're grown up, well, things may well be different, but not yet, love. So if you can, I think it's best that you abide by what they insist on. Well, of course, you may, in our sort of culture, think, oh my goodness, no, they can't do that. It's the epitome of crime, corruption and debauchery next door. Society needs to step in and rescue the child. Well, fair enough. And perhaps God does rescue us very often from situations that he understands we need rescue from. Thank you, Dad. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.